Good afternoon, Karen Bonifilio, Inner Realms, Outer Journeys. Look at that smiling face. Guess who we're having on today? Jennifer Rose.
Hey, everybody. Hi, Karen.
Hi, honey. You want to introduce yourself to the people that don't know who you are?
Okay, sure. Hello, everybody. And thank you again for having me on your program again, Karen. It's great to be here with you. So for anybody who's just getting to know me, my name is Jennifer Rose. I am a psychic medium, healer, teacher, mentor, transformational guide, writer, poet, and wellness advocate. I do many, many things, all forms of mediumships, including trance and physical mediumship as well. And I'm just trying to help make the world a better place. So.
I think so. And I'm going to tell you, I can't remember all that. Is that on your website by any chance?
So it's all over on my bios, a little here, a little there. Yeah.
Okay. She's got a lot going on, as you can see. Well, before we start the program today, I do want to tell you we are honoring the legacy of Martin Luther King because it's his special day, the Baptist minister that tried to change the world through nonviolence. But first, I want to tell you two things. One is this, you can chime in with your comments and your questions, but we're not doing readings today. So I just want to let you know that will come another day with Jennifer. But I want to share a quick story about myself and about Jennifer. When I started doing the reels and the videos and the podcasts, I was really uncomfortable with this format, with this kind of forum, not my expertise, but I was told to do this. And I reached out to Jennifer and Susan Grayson. I want to give a shout out to Susan Grayson and to Jennifer. Would you like to be on my channel and all this? And they surprised me and said yes. And so they were some of my first, I don't want to say cheerleaders, but really supportive of me. So, and I always want to come from my heart and I always leave nothing unsaid. So Jennifer and Susan, I want to thank you for every step of the way you've helped me. And I think, Jennifer, you've been on the channel, like, is this their fourth time now?
4 or 5, who's counting?
And she's telling me other things she does now. So I don't know. We might be seeing her again. She's got a lot going on. So welcome, everybody. And so Martin Luther King lived during a time when we were alive and saw many things he practiced through his nonviolence and the power of the nonviolence. And I know you've all heard about his I Have a Dream speech. But there are some things that you might not know about Martin Luther King. And Jennifer, I don't want to do all the talking, so you go ahead and then I'll chime in too.
Thank you. Well, we know him, most for being an advocate for civil rights through nonviolence. Mm-hmm. And I also want to give a shout out to Mrs. King. So, yes. For us to really have a well-rounded discussion, also very educated woman, also very brave and courageous, also met all of these amazing leaders around the world and worked tirelessly and effortlessly on the behalf of humanity and equal rights. And also, I think, if I'm correct with my history, is responsible for Martin Luther King Day after he passed away. So she's continued his legacy after his passing away too. So maybe we could honor both of them, the masculine and the feminine of the promotion of humanity in its most beautiful essence.
Absolutely. And I believe his sons still carry on his legacy and do work for him also. I've seen them honoring him. gosh, I just lost what I was going to say. Well, he was a Baptist minister. He was deeply entrenched in his faith, but he was also vilified because of the things he preached about nonviolence and acceptance uh, and working with the poor and many things like that. And he was such a great man too, and very charismatic. I don't know if you've seen any of his speeches or anything that he has shared about himself. He working on poverty and workers' rights and economic inequality. And I'm thinking about our world right now, and I'm thinking about this was back, 60s, 70s. We need to start evolving here. We need to start listening to not let history repeat itself, because it kind of is right now. But I'm not going to be a downer and talk about that. We're going to talk about Martin Luther King and his legacy. So if anyone wants to chime in, yes, may he rest in peace. I'm sure he's with us right now. I actually asked him.
I know. I know. I got chills all over. I'm super emotional. So I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of spirit. There's a lot of spirit here. Yeah.
Yeah. So he has joined us, which is nice. And man, I'm going to tell you, when spirit comes in, sometimes it's hard to have a conversation. Are you going to be able to do that?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I will. Well, and it helps because then I can be inspired. So it's not all just, me talking sort of intellectually, but, spiritually and from the heart too. So I love that.
I know that he is being honored worldwide in everything that he has done. I don't know what his widow is doing. Have you heard anything about his widow today, Jennifer?
I have not. It's been quite a busy day, so I have not. I'm sorry, I'm in the dark on that one.
I think everybody's been really busy. Yeah. Kelly has, I have.
Yeah, it's been it's another year like 2026 where it's just kept going. It's just kept going, and so it's like some of my friends are like, "Where are you, Jennifer?" And I'm like, "I'm just doing 10,000 things."
Yeah, and it's not even the first month.
I know.
I learned something about him that I didn't realize. He opposed the Vietnam War.
Yes, he did.
No, I did not know that. And that war split our nation. And so he kind of like stood for the common man, for everyone, not just people of color, but for impoverished, just everyone. His legacy was just wonderful. And he was very, he also emphasized the movement wasn't just one man. Sorry, my doggy's bothering me right now. It was about the collective. Boy, where do we hear that a lot? It's about the collective.
Yeah. Spiritually, he understood what love was, at its most basic level. And he was the one who said, the quote that we were talking about, the unarmored truth and unconditional love will have the final word in this reality. Right. So isn't that what we're all kind of pointing to, or what we're all talking about spiritually? Yeah. He said, I believe, let me just, I've got it right here just in case I screw it up, but
wow.
I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in this reality. That's one of his famous quotes, along with darkness cannot drive out darkness, only love, only light can do that too. And so what Dr. King knew, probably because he was a man of faith and educated as well and had experienced dehumanization and discrimination, was he understand the importance of reverence. Reverence for humanity, reverence for life, reverence for equality, and felt that inner impulse within him to promote that for everybody, to speak that. The bravery that it must have took for him and his wife to be put in jail, to have the constant death threats, which eventually did become part of his reality, would have been immense. I mean, now we're so scared to talk about anything, these days. No one wants to take a side on anything and things like that. But the bravery that took, but that is because he held such distinct reverence. When we dehumanize other people, we're going into, contemptuousness. So when he talks about unarmored truth from a psychological standpoint, unarmored means I'm standing in my light. I'm standing in connection. I'm standing in love. Often we've talked about dark night of the soul. When you come out of the dark night of the soul, you see the connectivity and everything. And just a little leaf is just, amazingly beautiful. And you're just like, oh, right. He stood in that light and wanted other people to know that light too. And that would be the essence of his work, right? So dehumanization is about contempt, arrogance, disdain for another, but it's from fear of rejection, fear of annihilation in some ways, because that vulnerable side of somebody within is so scared that I would rather other somebody else before they other me, or reject them before they reject me, right? And then we see this on individual levels and, societal levels and world levels. So when you look on the world stage, you're like, what's going on here? You're seeing a lot of immature. You're seeing a lot of immature personalities playing out all of this on the world stage, right? And so he did his best, and no one will ever forget him. I mean, a lot of us 500 years from now might be forgotten, 100 years from now might, whatever legacy we leave, and we will try to leave our best legacy that we can, but no one will forget him.
Ever. No, no, not ever. Not ever. Not only was his message well, he carried himself well. He had a confidence about him, a quiet peacefulness, and just very confident when he spoke.
Yeah. And that is somebody who knows who he is. He knows that he doesn't need to go into the armor, which I have called before weapons of protection or costumes of protection, of what we use to protect our, innocent hearts and our fear of being hurt and violated and rejected and all of this. And he understood that. He understood what the armor was and chose to behave differently, or he chose differently for himself and how he wanted to carry himself. But that was because he knew who he was. So he had that sort of integrated authenticity within him. And most of us don't get there without some kind of adversity, so, it is through adversity. I have many arguments with, like, why does it always have to be that way? But you get that through understanding how it feels, and then you choose to do something light with it instead of something out of the unhealed darkness. I say unhealed darkness because darkness isn't inherently bad, but the unhealed unconscious, when it's driving your behaviors and causing destruction outside of you, that's when we say, okay, this is we're not using this in a mindful, conscious, consensual way.
I also like what you were talking about before about him coming from a place of vulnerability too. That is so hard for people to open up their hearts and to open up themselves. And I think we could carry that lesson into our own lives about, being truthful, honest, and straightforward, and incorporate compassion and love into just our daily interactions with people. It would change the world phenomenally. It really would. Just treat people with dignity and such.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of the hardest things to do, being vulnerable. But that is where freedom is. We will not feel free until we make peace with our vulnerability and learn how to hold it in the way that he and his wife did, in that very innocent yet wise way. it's a measure of wholeness, and we're all kind of on the spectrum of where we are on that path and that journey. But if we maybe could put an intention out for ourselves of reclaiming that vulnerability within ourselves and knowing that that is the brightest light that we have to give.
You know, I really appreciate those words that you just said. Like, you would not believe how much I appreciate those words. And Kinder, I saw your comment, and I have about that dehumanizing language that we use now. Yeah, it is. I can't understand it. I can't understand that we cannot approach people differently and accept them.
When we speak to people or about people, in that way, understand that when you're looking at it and you're going, how could people say things like that? How could people do that? Right? It's like there is so much fear, and it's so much misunderstanding, lack of inner growth, but people will out of fear project outward, fear of their vulnerability, fear of being attacked, fear of so they feel unsafe, fear of being rejected, all of this. And so that is something that we all individually can look at our own fears and see if those are places that we can polish up for ourselves too, and that will have an impact on the collective, but it helps us to at least understand.
It would.
Yeah. And but at least I explain this so we can understand and just kind of go, because the lack of understanding is hard of it too. Neil Donald Walsh would always say, understanding replaces forgiveness in the mind of the master too. So it's like it's another way of understanding why people do what they do. But the potential is in all of us because we are human. So we have to also look at our own unhealed darkness, clean up our own space in the collective, and model what we are wanting and speaking for the best that we can. But also understand we are also complex and not perfect all the times either. And there's grace in that too.
There's grace in that, yes.
Yeah. But the more that we work towards this on a regular basis, I think the happier we will become, the more free we will become, will feel inside. And then we can also attain that energy that you speak about with Dr. King, the how he's charismatic like that, and how he's charismatic in a very wholesome way.
Right. It's not false bravado.
Yeah. And there's an energy of steadiness within him too. And I think that's something that people are attracted to and wish they had within themselves. But everybody can do that.
And I bet when his followers were with him, that they felt all that and they started emulating that. Because when you're encompassing that, you are going to start accepting it and start changing yourself within also.
Yeah.
Even though he, had adversity that he had to face. Oh, Valerie, welcome. First time here. You've been
Hi, Valerie. You've been initiated. I love that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Positive vibes and change going forward. You got it. That's what we need to do. And I think change is coming. I really do. I'm not going to go down there, but I think this year there's going to be so much change. Yeah.
I think so too. It is a very positive year. Astrologically, it will be intense just like last year was, but in a different way, in a more forward moving kind of way. The energies of January are very much about preparation for the rest of the year. So it's kind of like, get your stuff together because we're going for a ride.
What kind of stuff?
It's a positive ride.
What kind of stuff do we need to get together?
Whatever you don't have,
we know we know what she wanted to say, but she didn't.
I know. We can't lollygag anymore, everybody, and it's like I think
we need to move forward.
we need to move forward, and this is one thing that's been in my in the ethers lately is not trying to be perfect, but working towards a standard of of excellence in your life. And I think Dr. King and his wife, Mrs. King, they did that. They lived a life through with excellence with all that they did, and you could feel it within them, and understood that there may be backlash in return, and we're brave enough to. I can't even imagine. I think I'm a pretty strong gal. I really do. I think I'm a pretty strong gal. But then I look at that and go, oh, okay. I could grow some more. I got more room for growth.
Yeah.
you know. Yeah. But sometimes we tend to wait around for things to happen, and it's good to put energy into your thoughts and your manifestation and your dreams, but we also have to work towards the energy of action into making steps to make those dreams come true, instead of just sort of waiting for it always to show up. Sometimes it does, and we go, oh yay, thank you, but that doesn't mean that doesn't take away the that we got to do the work, right, for to make these things happen.
Yeah, we just can't lay back, and expect
right.
it to happen. We have to move
right. And so, like, I'm just trying to move towards a higher standard of excellence without being overly perfectionistic. So the dark side of perfectionism keeps you from getting anything done because you just give up and go, that's too hard, right? But chip away at it little by little. What do I need to do? What have I been needing to do? What will I need to do? I got a lot of what have I been needing to do, and I've been chipping away at that. That's why I took a little break this month from some of my other events, so I can go to the backwards of what have I been needing to do to catch up to what I need to do.
But
anyways,
you do that every so often, and I think it's very healthy to take a step back, because you're always going, doing. So I think that's really a good thing.
And then there's some things that will never get done. So you got to find some time. So anyways.
I actually like Sundays. Those are my down days, but not anymore. Not for a while. Racial justice. And think about that. We were fighting about that in the 70s, about racial justice, and we still are fighting about racial justice. And, I think once people finally realize, and I know this sounds so trite, but we are one. We are not separate. We are one. You got a great big ocean here, and we're just little drops in that great big ocean. Yeah. And we are one. And what you do to one, you do to another. So
it's true, because we are all connected in that way. And that's why when we other people marginalize, dehumanize other people, we're creating separation. We're just creating more separation. And that will affect you internally. So whatever divide is within the self can be manifested outside the self too. And so I do believe that been talking about door number 3. Isn't there another way than how we've been doing it? I mean, we've been slowly progressing, but the rebel in me is like, there's got to be a third way, and we have to, if we can, have a what do we call it? When enough people do something, a critical mass of healing the division of self, then we will start to see a collective union begin to arise and happen.
But and I think we're doing that, Jennifer, because people are joining together worldwide. So I think we are.
Progress is being made. Absolutely. And I see with this age of Aquarius, I may kind of sound woo-woo, but who cares? That's we're spiritual folks. But to other parts of society, it sounds the word. But I predict an influx of creative flow, artists, singers, dancers, poets, writers. That energy of creation will open things up in a whole nother way. That we haven't seen in a long time or ever. And we're due for that. We are due for the light the era of the light to come in again. We've been in a dark era for a while. Not bad, not wrong, very hard, very difficult. And the light, there is a time for the light. So hi, Ronnie.
Yeah. Hello, Ronnie. There is, and I'm thinking, we were on the precipice way back when Martin Luther King was alive. And then I don't mean to be Debbie Downer. And then all of a sudden, all the lights that were propelling us and moving us forward, Martin Luther King, Robert Kennedy, John Kennedy, or Bobby, their lives ended. Their lives ended due to violence. And so it kind of put a crimp in everything. But goodness and light will always win at some point in time. At some point in time.
That's what he said. The unarmored truth and unconditional love will have the final word in this reality. That's spirit.
Yeah, Sandra, I think you are true. I think that's true. Yeah. They're trying to trap us in fear. Well, and I think they is also very fearful too. And they have that, and that's how they try to keep control from us. But that ain't gonna work. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's not gonna work. We have human dignity, and we need to treat each other with that dignity and that respect and that love. Yeah.
Yes, we do. And we need to treat ourselves that way. Everybody's walking around. I've said this before, Karen, many times. Everybody's walking around with this little voice in the very background, some closer in the background and some way farther back, that says, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable. And we develop those beliefs usually very early on in childhood when we don't understand why things are happening to us or around us. And those are beliefs that are not true, but they drive our behaviors. They drive our experiences as well. And it's like when we can treat ourselves with more dignity and respect, what does that create? What energy, what kind of excellence in our lives do we start to see? And then how does that affect the other people around us who then have then also been given permission to do the same, who didn't think it was possible?
And don't minimize ourselves, my husband keeps giving me this message, and it's, you are more, and my husband is behind the veil, for those of you that don't know me. You are more powerful than you know.
Always.
I keep getting that message, and I'm thinking, okay.
Always.
And that's not just for me, that's for all of you too. We have so much power, untapped power that we don't know, but we're finding out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Was he imprisoned? I think he was imprisoned, wasn't he, at one point in time?
I think he was put in jail several times.
Several times. And I know he had FBI surveillance watching him and tapping him. And it was like public enemy number one. And this was like the least threatening man that you would even want to consider. He's promoting equality and love and justice and compassion and caring for your fellow man. It wasn't all about black and white. It was about the acceptance of all.
I think that's why I wear these two colors. I was like, that's interesting. I'm wearing black and white today because that's kind of what I felt guided. I was like, I think these colors go well together.
They really do.
Together.
I'm going to tell you. Can I tell the audience a little secret, Jennifer?
Of course you can. It's your show.
Well, but it involves you. So Jennifer's been on a few times, which I love. I love it. And then she'll text me, what color are you wearing today? And so I texted her ahead of time. Okay, it's cold here and I'm wearing black and brown. It's winter in my area. And then I remember one time we got on to do the interview, and she goes, "I don't like my dress," and so she went and changed it. Remember, you wanted to wear? I think it was you changed to a yellow dress or a red dress. I can't
I
remember.
think it
You
went
didn't
from
like
yellow
it.
to red. Yeah, it's just something didn't quite feel right. I will often do that. I'll just change last minute. Yeah, because I was doing. I started out with blue, and then I went to this, and I was like, okay, I guess this is what we're doing today. So,
Well, the black and white goes very well.
I thought, I thought these colors go well together, in harmony, right?
Yeah, you
And
guys understand all that, right?
you've got the red, and you've got lovely, lovely.
Oh, I did now this I just have black. It's winter here, even though I can see
Yeah.
the sun coming
Well,
through.
our we're all in neutrals, so we're blending well. We match. We passed the what do we call that? The fashion blend test.
Oh, good.
We go
I
together.
don't know. Nancy's expert on that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, we'll have to ask her. Um,
Nancy, did we pass?
I don't know. Sharon, I'm sorry, we aren't doing readings today. We're honoring Martin Luther King and his legacy and how we can move forward and
Yeah.
promote the love, the kindness, and the positivity in the world.
If anyone has a question, if you have a spiritual question that's not a psychic question, but a spiritual question along these lines, please offer.
We're approved.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Nancy.
Nancy. Oh gosh, yeah, passionately approved. She's the one. She's got it going on. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not seeing any comments about that. I don't know. Kelly will bring them up if
Thank you, Jennifer.
they show up. Yeah. Oh, we love you, Nancy. You know that. Yeah. Anybody have any comments? Well, this is a very friendly audience. Always, always, always.
I know. We have a lot of beautiful comments.
Mhm.
Jeffrey is saying the work is the work for us all. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Jeffrey. He's my friend. He's a very wise soul.
I need to meet Jeffrey.
Yes, I
I
agree.
love wise souls. Is this Jeffrey right here that you're talking about?
Yes. Yeah, he's my friend in Southern California here.
Hi,
And
Jeffrey. Nice to meet you. Okay, what do
Labyrinth.
you feel we need to understand from MLK? For me, that it was not just about one man, that it's going to take the collective moving forward and to bringing about the change. What is that saying? Be the change you want to see in the world. And I don't even know who said that. I don't know if Martin Luther King said that. But it's not just one person. It is the collective that that will propel us forward. And always be love-based and vulnerable and come from your heart. Jennifer, what do you think we need to understand from MLK?
That's what you do, Karen. You're vulnerable, you're loving, and you come from the heart.
Yeah, it makes me cry a lot, though.
That's
It
okay.
does. Constantly. But thank you. So do
Crying is
you. So do you.
crying is good. Crying is good. I cry spontaneously every once in a while. It's like
Well, I read.
spontaneously cry and I go, oh, that feels better. Apparently that needed to come out.
I read someplace that people that cry, it's a way of settling their nervous system and helping them to be able to process that information that's coming in.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true.
It's very healthy if we're having to choke down and hold in tears. Like that's a lot of energy. But sometimes we have to, right? It depends on the social setting that we're in. But it's very healthy too. It's cleansing. And that is our nervous system's way of trying to regulate. Yes. So I would say along the lines of what you were saying, Karen, is he talked a lot about love, truth, hope, and I'll add, grace and beauty and compassion. He didn't hate the people that hated him. But these concepts coming from a, heart on sleever, rose colored glasses kind of girl, and maybe not quite as much as I used to be, but I try. But those concepts are not sissy stuff. Love is one badass state of being to be in, and there's and we don't have too much love in this world.
No.
Or hope or beauty or grace, right? And time is short. And he taught us that time is short because his time did end.
Too soon.
And we don't know, too soon. And we don't know when our time it will be to pass on to our next adventure in consciousness. But most of us would like to stay here, as long as we can, but we don't know. And so therefore, how passionately can we love and hold, try to keep working towards an unarmored truth of living, and remember that there's still beauty in this world. Because I'm very aware that I may be cynicism, may outweigh optimism at times with a lot of people, but I can look out my window and see beauty. I can look at you, Karen, and see beauty. I can look at all of these beautiful comments of everybody who's with us, including Vivian here, right on top of our screen, and see beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Luther King could see beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I think, the final reality. So can we make this our reality? What can we learn from him? That those are not sissy words. They have their soft, delicate side, like a pretty little flower, but they also hold strength, and they are infinitely and unendingly gifting us all. Yeah.
That was beautiful, Jennifer. It was.
Thank you.
It was. Really came from your heart. Vivian, I want to talk about your comment. How do you spiritually share love with those who are already looking down upon you, or have made the decision that you are different or you are other? Well, for myself, and this is a really hard one, I just offer them love. I do offer them love, and I let it go. And I know that it's not me. It's not about me, but it's about healing something in them too. I got flipped off the other day when I was driving my car, and I thought, dude, what did I do? I didn't even know what I did. And I kind of wanted to ask, but I'm not going to roll down my window and say, why'd you flip me off? But I just sent him away with love. I said, you might be having a bad day, and I'm really sorry about that. And I'm sorry that I inconvenienced you. And I just try to release people with love. And I know with the climate that we are facing now in our nation, we need to infuse love, keep just blanketing love. Even in the marches that people are doing, it's not violent. We're trying to make a change, a non-violent change, and just keep doing that.
Yeah. That's beautiful, Karen.
Oh, thank you. I'm not profound. Hi, Michael.
Yes, you are. You're very profound. Hi, Michael.
I minimize myself. I need to quit doing that.
Yeah. In and out. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Absolutely.
It is.
And thank you, Nancy. Vivian, that would be we could take a whole hour to answer your question, but it's a beautiful question. And I want to honor the humanity of how it feels to be.
I read what Michael wrote.
Love from a distance and grant forgiveness, just even if it's for your own happiness. Yeah. Is that what you were talking about?
I want to be president. No, Oh my God, Karen, for breast. No, thank you.
Oh, that's what you were laughing at. Well, that's good. It brought the vibe up with a little bit of humor. That's a good thing. Okay.
Michael, you need to come on my show.
But
Sorry.
Karen, you were a teacher, and you have a lot to teach. You have a lot of wisdom to share. So he's not wrong.
I have a lot of stories. I got great
and
stories.
you believe in good, and you are authentic, and you are not afraid to be vulnerable, and that takes courage. So I do believe you would be a great candidate.
No, I don't want to age like that. You know?
Yeah, that's true. The stress will jack up your
Now I'm
cortisol
older.
levels. It's that's
Yeah,
that's the thing, ladies. You got to watch your stress, because the cortisol is not good for the aging process.
this is true.
What?
This is true.
Okay. Uh, so with Vivian too, is like, so understanding helps. Holding yourself with more self-love and acceptance helps quite a bit. Keep practicing that, so that no matter what is coming at you, you're holding yourself in so much of your own love that it you will be very little affected, if all, by it by the time you've grown so strong within yourself. But I also understand it can still hurt sometimes too. And we have to honor our feelings of not pretending that it doesn't hurt, or pretending that we aren't angry. But we want to cultivate coming back into that state of reverence and connection as quickly as we can after we move through the emotions. I know how it feels to feel degraded and dehumanized and disrespected. I think we all do. We've all experienced that in different ways, and it's a very unpleasant experience. So we can remain humble yet strong within the self too. Have understanding of why people behave that way. That it really isn't about us. It's about their fear that they have within themselves, is why they're behaving that way. If we kind of go into, these horrible people are doing this to us, we're kind of on the flip side of what's happening. So that we don't want to stay in that place for too long, but it is okay to be angry. Sometimes we need to move into a little bit of a protector to keep us from moving into maybe another strategy, which would be people pleasing, or lowering your own value even more, or something like that, or going into dimming your light kind of things too. So it's a little complicated of how we look at this too. But you don't have to pretend you like people if you don't, when they're behaving this way towards you. But I'm just offering strategies of understanding and management of this. But eventually, when we hold ourselves with high regard and know who we are and stand in that kind of authentic love, and continued, reverence of all things, then what we will also find is that those energies stop coming towards us.
You don't
Because they're, yeah. So that helps a lot. Maybe not completely, but for the most part, you're gonna be moving yourself into another reality as well too. When I look at something that I don't like outside of myself, like behaviors in other people that I don't like, I also will try to find, is there any way that I'm acting out that behavior within my own life or in my own mind or anything? And I look at it and see if I can address that, so that I'm helping to change that energy, because whatever is in anything else will also be in us. We all have the dark and the light within us, within this dualistic reality.
Right.
On top of that, of course, we are all light beings of pure heart and love. And that's what I've always tried to remind people back in the day when I first started speaking, is there is a light in everybody. And we can tune to that. We can remember there's a light in everybody underneath the personality.
Right.
The personalities are constructs and really illusions for the most part. We come in with essences, that we will take with us when we move into spirit world. And but the rest of the personality we develop through life and conditioning. So it's really illusory, right? So no one is really inherently evil or bad. And the villains out there in the world. It's so funny that they vilified Martin Luther King when it was the other people were the ones who were behaving in a villainous way.
Exactly.
with by literally taking the lives of other people for no reason other than what they looked like or their gender or who they loved, right? But having the understanding, as Neil Donald Walsh would say, helps a lot too. And yes, sometimes you do have to love from afar. So unconditional love does not mean putting yourself in harm's way. Sometimes we have to find a way, a temporary state of being to protect us from being in harm's way, so that we can continue moving forward. So it's a difficult, I know that was kind of a complicated answer, and I apologize if it got a little disjointed, but I'm trying to work through with a lot of ideas that are in my mind all at once. But it is hard. But I would say if you could take all of those kind of points and map them out, maybe you can go back and watch it again if that helps too, then you can see that there's different ways of doing things. And if we kind of can look at it from multiple angles, that helps. So understanding why they do it, doing work within self, holding self with love, and then finding out how we can manage our reality outside of ourselves in the best way, and then moving forward. Yeah.
Jennifer, that was disjointed, not really. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
There was so much in that. It was really beautiful.
Thank you.
I followed you.
Thank you. Sorry.
It was great. It was great.
Thank you.
I just had this epiphany as you were talking. I never really, one reason why they wanted to keep him down also was not just the content he was spreading, but it was due to this color of his skin also. You don't want a powerful man of color. Yeah, that. And also, Evelyn is on here, and she's got some really good thoughts. They've kind of gone by, but man, she really did. So, Evelyn, I don't know who you are, but thank you.
I know Evelyn, and what Courtney's saying is correct. Remembering how when you felt like that can help you understand others. Yeah, thank you, Courtney. Evelyn is from Solvang in Central California. She's a lovely
I've been there.
Lady. Yeah.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah. Must focus on changing ourselves and keep out of anyone else's drama. Only we can change for our future by changing ourselves.
Exactly.
It's really true. We just can't make anybody else see it your way. We all see through our lenses. But there is that thread. And I think what Martin Luther King showed us is that there is a thread of desire that put together in the right way, in an authentically loving way, can help make change. Because we did change laws. We did make things better.
We did.
With the work that he did too. And so that's a beautiful thing too. But our biggest impact is within ourselves. Change is constant. And so if we're like, well, what's wrong with the way I am? Is there something wrong with me? Why do I need to fix me? It's not that. It's just that there's always room for growth. And why wouldn't we want to keep elevating ourselves towards more growth? I look at myself and how far I've come, and then I realize, oh God, there's so much more I still don't know yet and would like to know and discover too. And I feel so big. It's a humbling experience. But
I don't think you're going anyplace. I think you're going to keep growing and growing.
Yeah. But I like how far I've come. I do like how far I've come. I do like that I'm starting to see change that I've been wanting for a while. So the work that I've been doing day by day, has made a difference. Shine your light. I love you, Kim Princess. Shine your light as much as you can. The world needs it. Darkness will not prevail, nor can we let it.
Yeah. And Kim, you keep shining your light because it's very bright.
It is.
It is very,
too.
very bright.
Yeah. And I'm going to take a moment, and I'm looking at the time, so I know we have to finish and take a moment that, especially as women, but not all women, men too, we've been conditioned to be so kind and supportive, and I love you too, Kim, and giving and nurturing, and those things come very naturally with the feminine side of both women and men too. But some of that can lead us to dim our lights for others too. And so there is a balance. People pleasing is not the same, as just genuine kindness with the energy that you can and are willing to give to other people as well too. So that's another thing that I think the collective, especially the feminine side is working on right now is showing kindness and love and empathy from a place that's not about people pleasing others. And that leads me to a point. And so our lights shine brighter when we love ourselves so much that we manage our energy and give to ourselves just as much or more that as we give to the outside world, if that makes sense. So for example, I take a lot of time for self-care for myself. And that leads me to another point that I thought of earlier is unconditional love also gets very misunderstood. And Martin Luther King talked about unconditional love. And he didn't mean love that lets people hurt us and walk all over us. He didn't mean love with just like no boundaries. What he meant was love without agenda.
Yes.
Love without agenda.
Without agenda.
We don't love just to get somebody to do something for us. We love without agenda because we genuinely want to show that energy to that person because we see them, we see their worthiness, we see their value, we see their humanity, we see their heart. That is unconditional love.
Unconditional love.
Yeah.
One way I want to end my shows is with a message from my husband. So Jennifer, I'm really glad you were talking so I could close my eyes and connect with him.
Yeah.
And his message to us today, and his name is Bono.
Hi, Bono.
Bono. He's such a good man. He really
I know he is. I've had the pleasure to meet him in spirit world.
No, you did. You did. It was beautiful. He says, this is all an illusion. I can't even read my own writing. Oh, realize the beauty of your souls. Sorry, I was writing it down really fast when he was saying it to me. So you just all being here has lifted all of the love and all of the positivity. You know that, right? And all your comments. And that's like a ripple. And it spreads out and out and out and out. So just keep doing that.
It is. This is a very healing container. So anybody who's been sharing this space with us has been gifted something from spirit because this energy it's healing, it's uplifting and elevating. So I would not be surprised if several people find signs and synchronicities from spirit showing up for them today, tomorrow, within the next few days or weeks, or feel like something feels better emotionally, spiritually, physically, or mentally. So that will be a great thing, a gift for all of us for sharing in this loving space together.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Karen, for allowing me to be with you here today. It's an honor. Thank you.
Oh, honey, I love when you come on my show, and I'm really glad this was our topic too. I really am glad we were able to honor.
Me too.
Martin Luther King. All right, everyone. Thank you. We love and light to you all.
Thank you, everybody. So lots of love.
Okay.